Good morning to you all and welcome to your special edition of Good Morning Abuja. Today is Monday, money making day. Let's go out there and make some money. This is Good Morning Abuja on NTA Channel 5, the Unity station. My name is Appiah Simon. But before we start the discussion for the day in which we'll be having special guests, let's get motivated with Noel Ukechikude.
When I was in the university, I was making shirts, trousers, polo, and sell in the school too. And that's how I started my own entrepreneurial development. So it's good for people to have a trade they are doing in order to help themselves and help the society. It will help us to create wealth, create job, and be happy for yourself too. Because when you have something to do, you will be happy for yourself. You will not think about joining banditry and robbery and killing people. So it's always good when you are doing something in life, think of what to do to create a job. No matter how little it is, start somewhere. You can use any amount to start something. Just think of something to start. You will progress from there, and definitely government will recognize you one day.
Welcome back from that motivational talk. I was motivated. I hope you were as well. But then, what is a day without us keeping fit? Let's have some lower back stretches. Welcome back from that break. To continue with our discussion, we have with us in the studio the former chairman of AMAC, Honorable Abdullahi Adamu Candidate. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, my sister.
Yes, it's good to have you in the studio.
It's my pleasure too.
Yes, but before your election as the executive chairman, as the former executive chairman of AMAC, you've held a lot of positions in the Federal Capital Territory, which include the chairman of AMAC Committee on Transport. You held a position like councillor representing Jiwa, AMAC, like a lot of positions. So, and then with this position that you just left now, what is the impact that you have left for?
Well, I think it's a very simple question. Side by side, the opportunity given by the people. I started, of course, as a councillor representing my ward, Jua ward. If I have to correct you from the best pronunciation, Jua ward in Abuja Municipal Council, one out of the 12 wards. I served there for 5 years and then, of course, 11 months. You can just give it like a 2-term as a councillor, and then, of course, I also serve as the council secretary before later becoming an elected chairman of this area council. So I'm the immediate past chairman of AMAC. There have been so many former chairmen, of course, but for now, from the last 3 weeks, I can better be described as the immediate past chairman of Abuja Municipal Area Council. These are offices that provide opportunities given by the people, you know, to help in bringing services, bringing development, putting smiles on the faces of people, and that is exactly what God used me to do as far as my people, you know, the service, you know, given by me, and I was able to discharge the mandate religiously.
Yes. And then, you know, like as the immediate, let me use your word, chairman of AMAC, like past chairman of AMAC, you know, there are challenges we face each and every time. What are your challenges? There should be that one particular challenge that you should tell us about, and what's the way forward?
Well, I think, you know, whoever have opportunity of serving as chairman of this area council is charged with lots and lots of responsibilities. But one particular area that distinguish the area council and other area councils is that the area council is domiciled within the capital city. And within the capital city, you have other organs of government. In particular, you have the presidency with its arms of ministries and parastatals and agencies. You also have Federal Capital Territory Administration that supervises the 6 area councils. Okay? Yeah. Now, one of the crises, one of the reasons why we have issues is that because the headquarters of AMAC is domiciled in Area 10, and that is what, was pronounced by the Constitution. So everything that you have to do, you are also seeing around the capital city. So just like the federal government, the FCTA and what have you have 1 or 2 things to do within the city, the AMAC also have 1 or 2 things to do within the city. And so the Constitution so define what the area council should do as a local council, and it's also give FCTA one responsibility or the other. So there seems to be some conflict. You are talking of problem or challenge that we face. Whoever is coming to chair AMAC will actually pass through this challenge because organs of government will clash with you. You have conflict here and there with some organs of government, with some agencies of government. But when you stand your ground, you say the FCTA has its own responsibilities, the AMAC has its own constitutional responsibility. And if you want to discharge it, of course, because you are being monitored and supervised by the FCTA, they seem to have the bigger authority. They seem to have to, they can muzzle you out. But if you stand your ground, they begin to have issues. And in having issues, it can retard development. It may also cause a lot of, setback in wanting to deliver service as expected. That is exactly one of the issues that AMAC as a council faces in the discharge of its mandate. So
going forward won't be an issue to the people?
Well, for me, sometimes when you march on toes, certainly I can say I march on certain toes, because the mere mention of Candido as the chairman of AMAC, it's like the beginning of certain wisdom by some people, because they feel he's marching on us. He come asking for this, he come asking for that. I'm not the one asking for it. It is the Constitution that says we should ask for it. And if we don't get it, we can't discharge the services expected of us. So wherein we don't do this thing, then the people will not also, see any development, or they will not receive any service. So we have this challenge, and I think any chairman that is to chair AMAC must sit up, must be ready to march on toes, if only you want to deliver service. If you don't want to deliver service, then of course you can just sit aloof and then watch things pass through. But you are going to concede so many things that belong to the people of this area council to other organs of government, and that will not be, that will not speak well of you as a chairman of this area council, because you have your mandate, you must protect it, and this mandate is for the people. You must protect it, and in protecting it, that is marching on toes.
Marching on toes, yes. And I must comment that you made an impact on culture and traditional institutions. These are soft points that some leaders overlook. Why did you beam a light on them? Why did you concentrate on them?
This is a local council. Larger percentage of citizens lives in local areas. Whether you are Mr. President, Mr. Governor, whatever you think you are, you must have come from one local entity or the other. It is a ward, it is a unit, it is council. So the communities are also held or are led by traditional leaders. These cultures of people must be preserved and must be protected. And in protecting them, you must also showcase them to the world. And that was exactly what we did. As AMAC chairman, we have 4, graded chiefs. And because they are graded chiefs, they have to represent the symbol of that institution. And in representing the other 14 graded institutions in the Federal Capital Territory, this one that are in AMAC are very close to the system here, to the government that be. So should there be any visitor from local or foreign who wishes to see 1 or 2 things that has to do with our tradition, they must visit our traditional palaces. And what I was able to do was just let me change, add value to the homes of our traditional rulers. That was exactly what I was able to do. I made sure that I upgraded the palaces, to really symbolize what a palace looks like. The palace of a traditional ruler must be distinguished between a traditional home and maybe a contractor's home or a presidential villa. So we try to define it, we try to show it so that when you are passing by, you say, this must be a palace. And we are able to promote them by ensuring that all their heritage, we ensure that on annual basis, they must showcase who they are, because they are now living side by side with other Nigerians who do not even understand what the culture of a Bagi person is, what the culture of a Gondara person is, what the culture of other FCT indigenous populations are. So we try to let them know that you must protect your culture, you must showcase it, you must let people know who you are and what your people are into, so that other Nigerians who are coming to Abuja should be able to distinguish who are these natives that we met on ground and who are the residents that also came to meet us on ground. That is exactly what I was able to do, and I maximize the opportunity in that office to make sure that we showcase our traditional institution to the world.
Wow. That's really impressive, sir.
Thank you.
And they say once a politician, always a politician.
Yeah.
So what's next for you?
Well, for me, I have discharged the mandate given to me by the people of this area council. 6 years is not 6 days. The people are a witness to all that I've been able to deliver. But as for next dimension, where am I heading to? God knows better. I tried to go into party primaries of the Ahmad Buhari Federal Constituency. It didn't work because party team. Somehow there are certain things that must be protected. So I didn't belong to the system that I'm supposed to be protected. I was edged out. I took it calmly. I accepted it as a fate. Now where am I heading to? Politically, I'm zeroing my mind to private and quiet life.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
I don't seem to be too interested any longer, because until maybe possibly when this politics is beginning to be seen, to be practiced in the way it's supposed to be practiced. But the way it is now, I think some of us who have certain, conscience may not be able to fit into it. So I want to quietly resign, withdraw my services from political angle, and then live a quiet life.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for coming. We wish to have you again on the show. Good morning, Abuja. All right, thank you so much for staying tuned. It's heartbroken that Honorable Adamu Candido is withdrawing from active participation, but then it's also a plus to other people out there, and then we hope that we have more of him, like people that will come and act like him. Good morning, Abuja is going on a break, and we'll be back shortly.
Focus on FCT is a